So when you put that in a contract and say the opposition, do you sit there and name the people in the contract too? Do you make the podcast people be like, who is your opposition? So who I need to know not to work with? Like,
hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, we're able to be a little more explicit, able to be a little more censored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, your boy JHE Rooga, alright, FBG Doug affiliate and everything. Now, he expresses his frustration during the live about being blackballed. Now, he didn't mention any names. Oh yeah, before we go any further, if you want to see the whole clip, you know it's a little long, so head on down to the Instagram and you can see it there. We got it on the Instagram so you can see the whole thing. Yeah, so he didn't say no names, right? But it's only one person he could be referring to, and y'all know exactly who that is. Lil Durk. You know, now throughout the clip, Rooga is pretty much explaining that, you know, without saying any names, pretty much DJs, podcasts, you know, interview guys don't want to do business or anything with him because of who his ops are. And Rooga made it clear plenty of times in the past that he really he put that stuff behind him. You know, he just want to get to the money, you know, the business. And he pretty much explained that doing that, cutting somebody's bread off based on y'all problems, the street issues and all that, is pretty much corny. Now, I understand where he's coming from, and I agree with him, you know, totally. I think trying to stop somebody's bread, you know, money, knowing that they got kids or situations going on, you know, trying to feed their family, that's a no-no. However, I gotta remember, there's no love in war. You know, there's no degree to how far somebody could take it or how they decide to deal with certain situations. And that just may be Durk's way of getting back at him. Or on the flip side of things, people could actually know that these two are into it with each other and chose on themselves not to mess with Rooga because they don't want to mess up their relationship with Lil Durk, with Lil Durk being a bigger artist. Now, if y'all been, you know, tuned into the channel for a long time, I've been said that something like this would happen with Rooga. Cash. To be honest with you, when it comes to Rooga and Cash, they actually exceeded far, or should I say further than I actually expected them to. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's not about their talent, it's not about the music. Like I expressed, it's all about relationships and people, especially whether you a DJ, you know, you an artist, interview, podcast, blogger, whatever it is. They're not going to jeopardize their relationship with Lil Durk on somebody that's just up and coming, right? But here's the thing, and like I said, it's because they already, you know, developed relationships with Lil Durk. They know him more, they knew him longer. So it's like to jeopardize that over somebody that's just up and coming, no matter how hot you are, they just don't want to do it. You know, sometimes the relationships that they build with people are personal. However, that's the good thing about the internet. You know, this is not like the 90s where the DJs got the total control of music and who's hot and playing music and songs on the radio. Nah, we are in a streaming era. So at the end of the day, if you have a hot song that's tearing up the internet and social media, everybody's enjoying it, everybody's playing it, that now forces the DJs to pick up on the song now, and they have to play it because everybody's listening to it. They know that at the end of the day, if they play this song in a club or lounge or a party, that's what's going to get the crowd going, because that's what they all mess with. So it's a little different these days, and I think that also played a big part in FBG Cash's success before he passed away, rest in peace, and JHE Rooga as well. You know, to me, not his biggest, but the song that kicked the door down for him was GD's in the Door. And that wasn't a record that blew up on the radio. That song blew up on the internet first. And that kind of, you know, made the path for him and put him out there. And that's when, you know, Kanye reached out. And after Kanye reached out, it was over from there. But the thing about that is, now that you in the door, it's kind of harder to maneuver, because your ops already have relationships with some of these people that could put you in position. You know, label execs, DJs, like I said, bloggers, people that could put you out there. They want nothing to do with you because they know that you are into it with, you know, somebody that they actually have a relationship with. And Rooga got good music. You know, he has great music. He has potential. I think he's in a situation where he's one song away, to be honest with you. I think if I was him, I would focus on the internet first. And I know it's hard to say because he's pretty much in the door. He just needs that extra push. But with, you know, Dirk being who Dirk is, one of the biggest artists out of Chicago, it's going to be very hard for him to maneuver in that industry without coming to a few dead ends. You know, and he's noticing it now. You know, but here's the thing. Perfect example, NBA YoungBoy. Right? NBA YoungBoy has a core fan base. Whereas, I don't know where y'all at, but where I'm at, they don't play NBA YoungBoy like that. However, he's still a huge artist. But a lot of his audience comes from YouTube. You see what I'm saying? A lot of his fan base come from YouTube. So when he has a show, now I'm saying YouTube kids or whatever the case may be, they come out and they support. Do we get a lot of radio airplay? No. Maybe in his, you know, his city and all that. Maybe, I guess, more in the South but out here, he doesn't get a lot of radio play. But somehow, some way, he always trends. Every time NBA YoungBoy puts something out, it does millions of views. Every time, he's always trending on YouTube. So at the end of the day, with this streaming era, you can actually succeed. You could be an artist. What's that other artist's name? Tech-9. They don't play him on the radio, but he still has a core fan base. Now, if you want to get to a certain level, if you want to exceed, because there's levels in this whole music industry thing. You got your, you know, you got your artists, but you got your big artists. You got your Drakes. You know, you got your Jay-Z's. You got your Kanye West's. So if Rooga want to go in that, you know, in that lane, it's going to be hard for him. But if he want to succeed and just be successful, I feel he could actually, you know, have a fan base and succeed, just not as big as those kind of guys, because he's going to hit a lot of roadblocks. And during the live, he was pretty much saying, like, what do he do when he worked with these bloggers and these podcasts? And if he's mentioned something about a contract, I don't know if this is, you know, solid as far as this is actually what goes on, but he said something to the extent of, when you have a contract with these podcasters or whatever, and you mention not working with the opposition, do you name them? Pretty much saying that maybe boy goes and does podcasts, and when he do them in a contract, he probably tells them like, yo, you can't work with my ops, you can't work with such and such. He named who they are. We don't know how true that is. He brought that up. Maybe he knows something behind the scenes going on. Who knows? But it is kind of weird, because I know a lot of these podcasters, they don't be really tuned in with who's ops and who's not. But this goes back to what I said. As long as you got a hot song, it really don't matter. You see what I'm saying? As long as you have a hot song, that forces them to pretty much work with you, whether they want to or not. You got some people that will actually jeopardize that relationship just to get a hard, like a hardcore interview or whatever it is with a certain artist. Look at 6ix9ine. They still play his music on some of these radio stations, whether you want to call him a rat or not. They kind of slowed down on it now, but during the height of all of snitching and he did this and that, they were still playing this man's music. And you got the kids and the girls that, if you ain't in the streets, you really didn't care about him snitching, I guess. But all the real dudes, they wasn't jacking it. So I don't know. I see his frustration. I see Rooga's frustration, because it's like, yo, listen, I'm trying to get away from all the bull crap. Yeah, we dissing and all that, but to sit there and, don't work with him, don't work, and that's the corny part of it. But once again, like I said, there's no right or wrong in that situation, because you can't tell people how to beef. It's like playing chess. It seems like that's what he's doing. And it's like, yo, I'm gonna hit you where it hurts the most. If I can't get you, I'm gonna hit you where it hurts the most, and that's pretty much your pockets. That's your career. So it's a 50-50 thing. It all depends on how you look at it. Some people like, nah, that's corny, you can't do that. You taking food out of his mouth. But then other people's like, well, that's his op. Why would he care whether food come out of his mouth or him feeding his family or anything? War is war. So like I said, it's like a double-edged sword. It all depends on how you look at it, whatever the case. But y'all jump in the comments and y'all let me know how y'all feel, man. Do y'all agree with artists getting blackballed because they ops with certain people? Do y'all feel that maybe these podcasters or bloggers, DJs, artists, do you feel they should just mind their business? Let me know how you feel in the comments, man. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out.